Good morning. In today's video, I'm going to take you along with me for a full day of eating as someone who is on a low budget and eats mostly at home. On the menu today, we have a delicious breakfast burrito that can be batch prepped ahead of time. Then for lunch, I'm going to be batch prepping some Chipotle-style burrito bowls. And then for dinner, we're having homemade pizza. It's going to be a delicious day of food, so let's get started. An espresso machine is the best investment if you want to save money and make cafe-style coffees at home. I've had this espresso machine for over 5 years now, and it's still running great, and it just makes the most delicious coffee. Alright, now let's get on to making the burritos. This breakfast burrito recipe actually comes from another content creator on YouTube called Rainbow Plant Life. Her name is Nisha and she makes the most delicious vegan recipes, and I would highly recommend checking her out if you haven't already. I'll link the exact recipe video down below so you can check it out for yourself. The burrito has this very nice rich cashew sauce as the base, and that acts as a substitute for cheese. Then we add some tofu scramble and fried potatoes. This burrito has the perfect balance of hearty and fresh and crisp ingredients, and it keeps me full for hours. I really like starting off my day with a high protein filling breakfast like this so that I can focus on work in the morning and be fueled for the rest of my day. I do prefer to drink my coffee either with my breakfast or after I've eaten it. I've just found that if I drink coffee first thing in the morning, it really messes with my digestion and my focus throughout the day, and it makes me really jittery. So if that's something that you struggle with, try eating your breakfast first before you have your coffee, and it should make a huge difference. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this and enjoy my coffee, and I will see you in a few hours for lunch. It's now lunchtime, so I'm going to put together the Chipotle burrito bowls, keeping this version really simple, so I'm just going to do the cilantro lime rice. Always keep my pantry stocked with some kind of canned beans. Now, dried beans are obviously a lot more cost effective and they do taste better, but the canned beans really come in handy in a pinch like today. So first things first, let's make our cilantro lime rice. Then we'll get the beans going and we'll make a corn salsa, and I'll just use some of the pico that I used for my breakfast burrito this morning as an additional topping. The cilantro lime rice starts off by making a basic pot of white rice, and then I like to set that aside and let it cool in a glass Tupperware while I work on the rest of the ingredients. Next, I'm just chopping up some onions and garlic to put in the spiced beans and then sauteing that. Now, another great tip I've learned from Nisha over at Rainbow Plant Life is to let your dry spices toast and bloom in the oil when you saute your onions and garlic. I also like to saute fresh cilantro with the onions and garlic and spices to create an even more flavorful base for the beans. I always store my cilantro and other fresh herbs wrapped in a damp paper towel stored in a glass container inside the fridge. I make sure to check the herbs for any yellowing or wilting leaves every few days and get rid of these as soon as possible. And it also helps to replace that paper towel at least once a week to keep the herbs fresh as long as possible. And by now the rice should have cooled down, so I'm adding in some lime juice from a couple of fresh limes and mixing in that chopped cilantro. While the beans are cooking, I decided to defrost some corn, and today I'm keeping it simple by just using plain corn, but I know at Chipotle they actually make a salsa using corn, poblano peppers, and lime and some other seasonings, but today I just decided to keep it simple. And now it's time to assemble the bowl. I'm gonna dig right in, just to give you a little taste test. So the beans turned out perfect. I can link down below how I made these. It's a very simple process, as you saw. But these burrito bowls are so budget friendly because beans and rice are one of the cheapest foods that you can eat. And you can add or subtract the sides according to what you already have. I'm gonna enjoy this and I will see you in a few hours for dinner. Alright, it is time for dinner, and tonight we're making homemade pizza. I already put this dough together a couple nights ago, and we eat a lot of pizza, so I like to have dough just ready to go in the fridge. And on the pizza, I'm gonna put mushrooms, some spinach, and basil. I shared in one of my previous videos how I've really started to make a lot of bread products at home, and this applies to pizza crust as well. And in this batch, I made sure to add a little bit of whole wheat flour to just increase the nutritional value and add a bit more flavor. And I've found that pizza can easily become a part of a well-balanced, healthy diet throughout the week if you make as much of it from scratch as possible and load it up with vegetables. I've really enjoyed sharing my day with you today and showing you exactly how I managed to cook at home as much as possible. If you liked this video, be sure to check out some of my other videos where I share more tips on how to cook more at home and stop spending your money on takeout. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.